This will be our third fund. It's a $40 million fund. So we're giving people a chance now to say, hey, I want to be involved in big, giant real estate deals that pay money. These are deals that are doing anywhere from 160 to 200% returns. You put $1 million into a deal and you're coming out with $2 to $3 million, but it's going to take 10 years. This is not get rich quick, okay? If you're taking notes, write this down. Don't do the get rich quick, man. Go for the get rich for sure. I don't need to get rich quick. I want to get rich for sure. So I'm going to go from 4,000 units. How many do you think I should go to? I'm going to go to 40,000 units. This is what I'm going to do, and this is why I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to 40,000 units, and I'm going to get the whole world involved in it. You're either going to invest with me, or you're going to actually help me raise these funds. Okay, so when you see me on social media talking about other stuff, anything that you see me talking about, what I'm doing is building an audience so I can allow people to get in a vehicle to where everybody gets rich. Because let me tell you something, if you want to make happy customers for life, make them money.
Integrative Communications has been supplying turnkey field mobility solutions since 2004. We've assisted many prestigious customers in providing access to field workers and asset information in real time while reducing mobility costs. We optimize workflows and deploy mission-critical applications. We saved the industry $40 million last year. To learn more, go to icomcorp.com. That's icomcorp.com right now. There's only one person you need to know when it comes to health, fitness, and a better lifestyle. Liz Nierzwicki started her fitness journey at 10, overcame OCD, and is the foremost expert in weight training and dieting. She's the author of the international best-selling Happy, Healthy, Fit, Transform Your Life in 90 Days with the Figure Fit Lifestyle Program. She's also the host of the Figure Fit Life podcast. Liz is there to ensure you achieve your goals in fitness. She knows every movement of the body, every food to eat to get in shape, to achieve your fitness goals. To learn more about Liz, go to liznierzwicki.com. That's liznierzwicki.com right now. Leave a mark in your neighborhood with a lasting impression. A professional landscape can deliver that and more. And the man to bring it to you is Steve Griggs. Awarded the National Best of Hows in Client Satisfaction in 2016 with clients such as Dr. Oz and the Palisades Center Mall in West Nyack. Steve Griggs crafts and delivers a brilliant landscape plan guaranteeing your backyard oasis at a fair price. This isn't landscape design, this is lifestyle design. For more information, visit stevegrigsdesign.com. That's stevegrigsdesign.com. If you are a business owner who needs custom software solutions through Amazon Web Services to automate, speed up, and enhance your business so you can focus on what you do best, which is grow your company, let Nico's Computer Engineering get you started today. With a free consultation, CEO and owner Tim Clark has spent the last 10 years building custom software for companies around the United States. Whatever your need is, whatever industry, if you need efficiency, Tim Clark can help you. Nico's Computer Engineering knows that you value speed to market. That's why we have the fastest turnaround and software implementation on the planet. If you want to get started with Nikos, go to nicoce.com. That's nicoce.com to get started right now.
Hey, welcome to Power Players. Grant Cardone here. I'm talking legend right here, okay? I met you at the 10X Growth Conference.
That's right.
Damon John brought you out.
That's right.
Bernt Ullmann, this guy is known as, if you don't know who he is, folks, pay attention. If you want your brand known, if you want to get known, if you want to become a celebrity, if you want to be a power player, if you want money, you need attention. If you don't have attention, you agree with that?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. So does the best talent win the game, or the person that gets the most attention win?
It's a little bit of both.
Uh-huh.
I mean, so, you know, it's the old, nothing sells product as well as product. So, you know, talent will prevail. However, at this day and age,
the best product unknown
exactly means nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, not only best product unknown, you can have the best product known if you're not speaking to the right audience.
Yeah.
They still can't hear you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it is all about visibility, but it's all about also targeting the right audience.
So let me just tell the audience a little more about who this dude is, okay? Think J-Lo, think Adam Levine, Nicki Minaj. She lives in my building. Think FUBU. Think my boy, little man, Damon.
100%.
LL Cool J. What'd you do with LL?
So LL was actually a brand ambassador for Damon and FUBU.
Okay.
And quite frankly, very quickly, it's a great story. He really was a big portion of launching that brand. Mm-hmm. So big established company today, even all the way back then, Gap. and they felt they weren't really
The Gap stores.
The Gap stores, and they felt they weren't really in with the youth. So they wanted to get the touch of that youth. So rap hip hop was huge.
But why would they go to an older guy? Like you and I are older
No,
guys.
they didn't. They didn't go to me. They went. I'm answering the LL code. They went to LL and they say, "Hey, can you make a rap to make us cool?"
Okay.
LL said, "No problem." He went on. It was a huge national commercial, and he went on wearing a FUBU cap. So they shot the Gap commercial, and he's rapping about the Gap. And in the middle of the rap, he says, "For us, buy us on the low." For us, buy us, that's the acronym for FUBU.
Right.
So he plugged FUBU in the Gap commercial. Gap executives were thrilled, blasted their campaign, a 30 million campaign, and FUBU blew up.
Yeah. Wow.
Figure that.
So how does the audience, I mean, what are you doing for young entrepreneurs? Have you always been a branding guy, first of all? Have you always kind of been in that space?
I have, and I've always been an entrepreneur myself, so it's not a lot of people know.
Where'd you grow up?
Grew up in Oslo, Norway.
Okay.
I went to school in
He's a
Copenhagen.
Norwegian.
I'm a Norwegian, yeah.
That's where you get the Bernt from. It's really Brent, but it's Bernt if you're a Norwegian, if you're a fisher, if you're a Viking.
That's exactly right. And I'm supposed to be tall and blonde. But, here I am. It didn't really happen for me. But, tough industry.
He's just a killer. He's just a killer because all Norwegians and Vikings are killers. This guy's a killer right here. Don't kid yourself. You agree?
In my own subtle way, Norwegians are
in
killers.
a subtle way, yeah. Yeah, look at some of the people he's working with. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got in the branding house.
So I started out early as an entrepreneur. I actually launched in Copenhagen Pizza Pronto, Scandinavia's first home delivery of pizza. And I learned a couple of things real quick. So this was back in the day before the internet and all of that. So I wanted to get known. So it's like, how do I do that? I got myself on the front page of the Only, because this is quite a few years ago, Only weekend newspaper. Huge picture. And I was the proud owner of 2 pizza trucks. And I knew about marketing and branding. I had my phone number, Pizza Pronto, and the number all over the side of the truck. It's awesome. I was done, right?
Yeah.
Celebrating because...
So what problem were you trying to solve back then, like with the pizza?
So
to get that you wanted to get on the front page.
So listen, I was launching a business, and I thought, get on the front page and I'm done, right? It's a brilliant idea. It's the first. I'd seen the home delivery pizza. I'd been to the States. My very first business trip was to Baltimore to check out the pizza truck, so I was ready to go. The paper came out, phone started ringing off the hook, system broke down, car broke down. We delivered soggy old pizza 3-4 hours, after people called for them. And I learned a really valuable lesson. You will get one shot at making a first impression. So you might as well make it a good one, right? But that was a pretty valuable lesson. I almost tanked my business before I even got off the ground. And that was the beginning of the branding story.
But you had a new problem. Now you found out, hey, I got to deliver.
100%.
Right, and you weren't set up to deliver at that rate.
I was not. So, there is something to be said for organic growth. Normally, I would say organic growth takes too long.
Yeah.
But you have to have the foundation. You have to have the fundamentals in order to build a business. And that's how you build a great brands really leads to what's called brand equity. And brand equity is how you make people feel. How you make the consumers feel about your brand. That's your brand equity. And the brand equity is really valuable. And that's really why we're here. I love everything you are doing. I love what you are doing in your brand. And it's no different.
But is that so what's the difference between a brand and let's say I'm a young guy out there and I'm selling cars. I grew up selling cars. But I had a brand then, right?
Of course.
Is that my brand equity? What's the difference between brand and brand equity?
So the brand is just something, symbol, name, whatever, that distinguishes your product from
or service or
whatever
right?
it is.
Yeah.
From the rivals in the mind of the consumer. That's the brand. So whatever that is that sets you apart, that's your brand. The brand equity is the value of that brand.
The value of the brand.
Yeah. And that's what's so brilliant, because at the end of the day, listen, I have a lot of respect for anyone that builds a business and make money. It's wonderful. But if you're just out there hustling and making money and you're not building a brand,
right.
Each and every day you kind of have to reinvent yourself, because you have to do it all over again. If you have a brand, you're actually building wealth, because the brand takes on value in and of itself. And there is another big aspect to a brand. When you're a brand and you have brand equity, you have trust. When people trust you,
right,
they come to you and you get a loyal customer and you get the ability to leverage this brand equity. You get to charge more, higher prices,
They'll buy faster.
Higher margin, exactly. And you can license, you can take this. Now you have something and you can create multiple engines that help you drive growth. Licensing and or ultimately you can sell. And by the way, if you're out there and you're transacting and you don't have a brand, you really will find yourself in what I like to say, a debt spiral race to the bottom.
Because you're always reinventing, grinding. You're just working.
You're just working. You're just trading your time for money.
Which is fine.
But no, it's okay. But think about it, though.
Yeah.
There's always someone that's going to be willing. If you have nothing that sets you apart, no brand, nothing that sets you apart, there's always going to be someone out there willing to work at a lower price, undercut you, so you're in a debt spiral race to the bottom. You have to have something that sets you apart. That's the power of brand.
So look, normally when I do Power Players, I go back and find out about the dude. But this particular topic, okay, like it's so vital to me. I just really want to spend time. Really could be more Ask a Pro, Johnny, than the Power Player. Even though this dude is a Power Player, I just want to know, because this is the piece I missed in my business. I was the worker, I was the grinder, the pusher.
Yep.
I was in one vertical
Exactly.
for 20 years.
Yep.
Nobody knew me outside that vertical.
Right.
They knew me in it, but
Yep.
I was dependent upon it
Yep.
and the livelihood of that, right?
Yep.
So what should people do right now? What should I do to continue to expand my brand?
Yep.
But what should somebody do? Is it the same steps?
A lot of the steps are very similar. It starts obviously with building the brand. For instance, I look at your interlocking G and C, the GC. To me, I look at that and I see Gucci, I see Chanel, interlocking letters in that shape.
Oh, dude, I love this, man.
But all great brands.
I'm so glad I got you here, man. Gucci and Chanel and Grant Cardone.
100%.
Yeah,
but,
I like that.
I don't think for a second it was, accidental. I'm sure someone thought about it, right? And at what that does, it's aspirational. And great brands are aspirational. So great brands, they have to be authentic, they have to be credible, and they have to be aspirational.
Authentic.
And you check all the boxes. Authentic, credible, and aspirational, right?
I like that.
Yeah, but you have to have that, because without that, you're not believable, right?
And without being aspirational, you're not exciting to look at.
Exactly. Who cares?
So how important is the which one of these should somebody start with? Because if I'm not entertaining to a degree, nobody's going to watch, right?
100%. But you have to start with authenticity, I think. There has to be something pure about it. Because if you start diluting the message, you actually don't have a brand.
So you don't advise that people just have sex on YouTube to get attention?
It seems to have worked for some people.
Yeah, for some big people.
Exactly. But I don't know that that's a really replicable, model.
Right.
So it's more about staying true to the brand. One example, for instance, I ran a company called Fat Fashions. Russell Simmons, Fat Farm, and Baby Fat, Kimberly Simmons. And at one point, Russell got an order for 75,000 hockey jerseys. That's a hell of a lot of hockey jerseys. And back then, those things were popping off like $50. Oh, it was a huge order. But the brand he had built was called the premise was classic with a twist. And much to Russell's credit, he took a look at that and he said,
it doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit. So I'm going to forego millions of dollars in orders now to stay true to my brand. And ultimately, Russell sold Fat Fashions for $140 million. His brainchild, he created it, stayed true to his vision. Yes, there were transactions. Yes, he had made money over the years. But then he had a transaction at $140 million based on what he created. That's wealth. That's wealth creation.
So how do I find out? How do I find out what's authentic about the guy's a plumber?
Okay.
Small plumbing in Shreveport, Louisiana. I don't mean to test you too hard here,
no,
but
that's okay.
But so his authenticity, he thinks, is he's an honest plumber.
Okay.
So how does he play that out to a brand that becomes credible and aspirational?
So how the hell do I know that he's an honest plumber? So it's in the messaging.
Yeah.
So he needs now to go, I would say, someone like that, go and get testimonials. Go and get out to all the people you have served. And yes, to get the note is great, but if you can't, in this day and age, if you can get the video testimonial, much more powerful, get the message out there. Because otherwise, it's good and you can take pleasure in the fact that you're honest and you do hard work, but if nobody knows, as we started out, it really doesn't matter. But that's what you start. That's how you start building your brand. And then you start leveraging that. And it's smart to come up with maybe a, tagline, something that delivers on your message. And I would say,
So him just putting on his business card, I'm honest, or he puts it on his one truck, I'm the honest plumber in town, in Shreveport, that's not going to go any. You're saying nobody's going to see that.
That's very nice in the local community.
Yeah.
And he can be a great local plumber. But if his vision is to build something bigger, I think you need to take your message and amplify it, right? I think amplification is huge. And it's so easy to do now, When you go back, like we started out talking about building brand, So I started this company, Star Branding, right? So and that was back in 2009 and saying the premise was very simple.
Pre-social media.
So there was pre-social media, you're exactly right. And the premise was stars can be brands, very simple. And started it with great guys like Tommy Hilfiger, his brother Andy, a guy named Joe.
He starts right at the top of the food chain. Man.
Yeah.
How do you have these connections? How do you know the famous people, man?
I guess that's just true, what I've
But
done.
I've met a number of you guys like you just have the ability. Damon's buddy, Eric, what's his name? Some of you guys just know how to just weave in the streams of celebrities and power players.
Yeah, it's not so much weaving as it's been, I think it's funny. Nothing creates success as much as success, right? So I've been very fortunate. I've been with great people. Under the Star Branding umbrella, we created an entity called Mesh, Music Entertainment and Sport Holdings. I was the CEO of Mesh. We ended up doing the largest celebrity deal ever done. Projected at $3.5 billion would it be? $3.5 billion, one transaction.
Who was that with?
That was Jennifer Lopez and her husband at the time, Mark Anthony, with Kohl's department stores.
Wow.
So, amazing. Great stuff. And
so how do you make a connection with, how does all that start?
So,
First of all, they had to know you from someone or something you'd done. And I think that's what you're saying, right?
So I am saying that, but I would say in this case, being partner with the Hilfigers, and honestly, it's both Tommy and Andy, that became, for lack of a better term, almost a lead magnet.
Yeah.
And then
so how did you get that? How did you get that hookup?
So that's true. Actually, it's funny how it works, right? So my first introduction to Tommy, I think, came through Russell Simmons.
Okay. So how did you get the Russell? How did you get the Russell pitch?
So Russell came through the Damon deal because I was president of FUBU International for 5 years.
Okay, I didn't know that.
With Damon.
Okay.
And then, and I worked before that, I was corporate vice president of Donna Karan. The CEO of Donna Karan moved to another company, Kelwood. They were actually looking at the acquisition of Fat Fashions. He calls me and he says, hey, Bernt, we're looking at this thing. We're not sure what we're looking at. We know you. We know what you know. We need you to leave FUBU and come over. So, I joined them and we finished the acquisition and I ran Fat Fashions for 5 years. But that's how it all builds on each other, right?
Yeah.
So
what would you tell people out there about, is it who you know or who knows you?
I think it's a little bit of both because, it's important who you know, but, and we also...
Because somebody reached out to you.
Absolutely, that happened, and that has happened several times, in my career. But I do think we often say that, your network is your net worth.
Right.
I really believe that that's true, and I do believe that you can work on that. So I have very often been they often call me the man behind the brands. I'm not the superstar, when you do the star branding and the celebrities.
Yeah, well, you are today.
But, I appreciate it. But, so I've been fortunate I had some result. But what happens when you do like the largest celebrity deal ever done, the deal pipeline kind of opens up. It's not hard to do deals after that.
But should that be a target for people? Like the people watching right now, should you have a target? Because you're really talking about wealth here.
Oh,
you're not talking about money, but you're talking about wealth.
That's what it's all about, creating wealth. I mean, again, another example. I'm currently working very closely with Bethany Frankel, one of the original housewives,
she did the martini thing, right?
She did indeed, and that's my point. It's actually, so she created the brand, but so for all intents and purposes, she was one of the original housewives of New York. Leveraged that into creating a brand literally on air, Skinny Girl Margaritas, Skinny Girl Cocktails, and turns around and sells it to Beam Suntory for $100 million. Only the alcoholic beverage piece. She still owns all of the rest of it. That's wealth.
You worked on that deal?
I can't take credit for that deal. She did that all herself. I am working with her now, and we're doing a lot of other great stuff. I just signed the jeans deal. So we're now going into kind of global lifestyle because that brand is set to explode. And that's kind of what I do. And so I leverage brand and brand equity. Build brands, build brand equity, and then leverage that across multiple platforms. I love licensing, for instance. That's very powerful. You have a brand, you can license. And licensing is phenomenal.
You've said license 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
Why do you like a license?
So I love licensing because it is a very low cost, highly effective means to drive growth. So when you have a brand that has the brand equity, you can turn around and you can get new engines. You don't have to carry the load all by yourself. You have the name and someone's licensing very quickly. Someone is renting your name and paying a fee, a royalty. Right? And it's on them. They are typically best in class. So let's say you built, if you stick to my fashion, but it can be anything. You built something that's great and now you have the fashion. Why, or in the Skinny Girls example, they have the food and beverage. Why can't it be a broader lifestyle? So with Russell, we had the clothing. Why couldn't there be a shoe? There could be a handbag, a watch, jewelry.
You love the fashion stuff.
Well,
that's a niche you like because why? I mean, I think the top 3 richest people in the world come out of fashion. Like it's one of the top 3 groups. I'm sorry, not top 3 people, but it's one of the big groups. So
it is a big group because it goes back to kind of what we talked about. I think fashion is aspirational.
Aspirational, yeah.
It's very aspirational. People react to it.
People got to wear clothes. They want to look at it. If they can't wear it, they want to see
exactly. it. Exactly. And by the way, and no one needs to buy clothing really for any purpose. It's not filling a basic need. So it's filling an emotional need.
Right.
That's something we get to kind of cater to and evoke an emotional reaction. Yeah.
So let's go back to the example with the. I mean, what if a guy just wants to be the local Shreveport plumber?
There's nothing wrong with that. That's great.
But how does this branding thing, how does becoming a celebrity, how does becoming aspirational, authentic, getting out there, getting attention, how does that, why is branding a must for him?
So again, going back to what we said, if you are a brand, if you're a trusted brand, it will allow you to charge more for your services. People will actually favor you over others. They have a choice, right?
Yeah.
So now you build, once you have the trust, you get loyalty. And that loyalty actually.
And you get the first phone call.
Exactly.
Right.
And the happy customers become brand ambassadors. It's very powerful.
So let me ask you this question. Henry Ford said, the only advertising that costs money he said something about, what's the pitch on advertising? You remember what
I don't remember what he said.
He's like, if you think advertising is expensive, try not advertising.
Right. That was
so how is branding different from advertising?
So I would say branding is just a version of, but a great brand, yes, it is a form of advertising in its own right. However, you need the advertising to amplify the message.
So J-Lo's a brand.
100%.
J-Lo's not an ad.
She's not.
You would see J-Lo and the brand in an ad.
Exactly. But having that strong foundation of having a strong brand or a strong product allows you to amplify the message and kind of energize, a wider audience. Because at the end of the day, you can use advertising to get anyone to do something once. But if the product is not up to par, they don't come back. And as we said earlier, you get one shot at making a first impression.
So my mom used to say, "Hey, don't toot your own horn." What would you say to my mom?
So mom is right, but only partially right. Because I don't even think it's too. Look at what you have done. Look at the brand you have built. Are you tooting your own horn? I don't think so.
I definitely am.
No, you're not.
My mom told me, she said, "Don't toot your own horn." I said, "Man, I'm gonna get a symphony. I'm gonna get Kevin Harrington to talk about me. I'm gonna get everybody and then Kevin didn't, by the way. Kevin Harrington wouldn't talk about me, so I'm like, I'm tooting my own horn, and I'm not even a musician. I don't even know how to play a horn, but I'm a scream. I said, God gave me this for some reason.
You're doing a great job, but the net is, I think, you are providing a service. So that's the point. So I think when you are doing something for others, when you're providing a service, it's not really tooting your, you're sharing, yes, you're reaching out, but it's for a reason.
But so what would you say to people out there that are like, look, I don't want the attention. I want to fly under the radar. I don't want people to know who I am. What's the message from
from the ultimate branding man.
Well, so the message is that
the man behind the brand. Sorry,
but that's exactly right. So the message is you can do that. Have the brand be the star. Then, if you're not comfortable, build the brand, and you be you're the man behind your brand.
So can there be a company without a person, without a personality? Because I don't know how that's.
There are companies without personalities, but I'm willing to bet you that if we were to do a case study, I'm 100% certain that the ones with strong personalities, whether they're at the forefront and they are the brand, or they're the driver and they are right behind the brand, those companies are doing a heck of a lot better than the companies that are run by committee.
Right.
I have
so
no
like
doubts.
the guy that runs T-Mobile, what's the dude's name? He's got the long hair. John Leisure.
Yeah.
So he's got like 6 times the Twitter followers that the entire company at T-Mobile has.
Right. Yeah.
Like that personality, and they ended up doing a deal with Sprint probably because of that personality. So you're saying there does need to be a personality?
So I'm saying I think there has to be a strong person that sets the vision for the brand.
Even if it's not the owner. He could put somebody in place.
You can, if you have the right person, if you have a strong steward.
Yeah.
Again, great brands, going back to what we said, are about being authentic, credible, and aspirational. Someone can deliver on that brand ethos and doesn't have to be the personality in front of the brand. However, one of the ways to amplify a brand is to put it with a high visibility person. You don't have to be the person
You don't have
yourself.
to be the person.
I'll give you a great example. Take Tommy Hilfiger. Great company, and it's a phenomenal success story, right? He started out 1 out of 9 siblings from Elmira, upstate New York.
Wow.
Yeah, they do around $7.5 billion annually today.
Wow.
But, he's a guy, right? And it's a red, white, and blue brand first and foremost.
No, his home down here in Golden Beach. Have you been there?
I have.
Yeah,
It's amazing, but he is.
I mean, it looks like him. His home is branded.
No, he's phenomenal. There's no accident surrounding him. But the point is, though, in the women's business, because the brand has been around for a while, because he's a guy and all, the women's business was never as hot as the men's business. What did they do? Because he's a visionary, he's really a purveyor of pop culture. He went out early on and signed Gigi Hadid, did a deal with her. I would say she was probably 19 at the time. It was a multi-million-dollar deal, but he recognized.
He put his money
absolutely
on another person.
He made an investment
to expand the
exactly
TH brand.
Co-branded and got instant credibility with a younger female audience, and honestly, got tenfold back on his investment.
Yeah.
So you can use. There are different ways of putting people or leveraging people's following to grow your business.
How does social media change the game now for people, as opposed to when I was growing up?
Yeah.
And I had to do TV like Harrington.
Yeah, no, as you know, it has changed it dramatically. When we started,
I was praying once. I said, God, please send me the answer. Next thing I look up, I see Instagram. I said, dang, who did that?
Well, who did you pray to?
Yeah.
So, for all intents, it has changed the game completely.
Yeah.
And for all intents and purposes, now we founded Star Branding in 2009. Stars can be brands. Great. There was really no talk of social media.
There wasn't a distribution channel.
All the distribution. So what it was
TV or newspaper or magazines, right?
Listen, if you wanted to get back then to the consumer, you had to go through the large national retailers. They controlled the game.
Yeah.
If a large retailer did not pick up your brand, you were done.
Yeah.
So that has, of course, the power has now shifted, right?
Yeah.
And it's residing now with us, the consumers. We're in charge. And social media is the vehicle to communicate with us, the consumer.
Yeah.
So Star Branding was great, but it was all traditional. It was brick and mortar stuff.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. And very kind of organic and step by step, and very much relying upon other people. Now we have, for instance, something called celebrity lifestyle brands. We have created a new business, celebrity lifestyle brands. What I love about it is that celebrity lifestyle brands is really Star Branding 2.0, because this is all about helping influencers and celebrities, in essence, unlocking a new assets. The social media following is an asset, and we help them monetize it. So it's very powerful. So, it used to be, if you think back to traditional, a lot of big companies would spend literally millions trying, analyze data, trying to anticipate consumer behavior. What happens now? The consumer is telling you what they want.
Right.
It's like, I love, Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
She has her barbs. She has a
Yeah.
massive following. Anything that she puts out to that audience, they respond to. It is that simple.
So back in the day, I remember when I was like, oh man, I want to become a columnist. I was doing anything to get known, right? So I'd go to run off to Fox News every time they would call me, and then I'm like, hey, why don't you guys have me back tomorrow? Oh no, we can never have you back again. I mean, we can't have you back for at least a month.
Right.
Or send us your story or whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get a column with the USA Today, and I thought, and then obviously papers are dying, TV's dying.
Yeah.
I can't get back in. I can't get the message repeated.
Right.
And then the Instagram and Facebook show up, and I'm like, well, I can share my message every day. Is there too much? Too little? Can a person do too much?
I don't think you can do too much of a good thing. But what defines good? It's again, that's going back to the credibility and the authenticity. If you're in essence just spamming, I think people don't react well to that. They see through that. So I think you have to deliver a value. But if you continue to deliver value, I think people respond very well to that. I think you can do it all day long.
All day long.
I really think you can.
So back when the thing started happening, I was just trying to figure my way out, right? And I mean, the only way I know how to figure out something is to try it. And so I'm banging, and people are like, oh, Grant Cardone is what you should not do on social media. But I was coming with so many different angles that over time, those same people now are saying, no, that's the way you play the game. But you have to have a lot of different stories to tell. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I feel you have to do. So you have to have, I think, an overlying message that kind of, you want consistency. Great brands are consistent. So you want consistency in messaging, but I don't think people respond very well to feeling that they're being sold to.
Yeah.
So they like to engage. We're in a different economy now. We often refer to it as the experiential economy or the dream economy, right?
Oh, wow, I love that.
Well, that's a fact, right? And people still spend a ton of money, but they spend money differently. They're not consuming the same way they did, right? So, but if you were, for instance, your products are allowing people to better themselves, well, that's very timely. People like investing in themselves, self-improvement, self-help, taking them to the next level. That's great. Those messages are great, but consistency is still very important.
Okay, when you look at I don't know how much you've looked at what I do, but right. So I'm going to get a little selfish here.
Yeah,
I'm going to get something for free here from this guy. This guy's a genius, man. You guys need to really pay attention to what he's doing. If you need to go back and listen again, what do you see me doing right, and then what do you see me doing wrong?
Okay.
And what would you do with me if you took me on as a client?
So
you're going to make me the next J-Lo.
So this is a little hokey because I would definitely do a deeper dive.
Yeah,
so really
of course.
So it starts with kind of defining what's your brand DNA. Like I spent, when we started the J-Lo deal, I spent 2 days in J-Lo's closet.
That's weird, man.
Yeah, I know.
I got to tell you, that's a little weird.
But the only good news...
that's a big closet. That's a big closet.
Exactly. I was just going to say...
That's a big closet. I mean, how many pairs of shoes do you try on?
Oh, my God. There are thousands, right? Yeah. So the only good news about that closet story is her closet is larger than the studio here, much larger.
I'm sure it is.
Fully catered. It was very comfortable 2 days, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
But what was the purpose? The purpose was to understand her personal style. Why was not everything black and tight? Because that's not her brand DNA. So you have to understand. So the first thing you do is kind of you dig in and you say, what is it about Grant and his business? To get that essence. And typically DNA, what we like to look at. So we typically say brand design, whichever way that translates.
What is that brand design?
The brand design, the product. What is that? So
the brand design.
Yeah, the brand design. So what is that? You start by looking at what's the product, what is it, to understand that. And then the N in DNA, that's the brand name. Is the name good? Because some people are very literal. I'm selling hats, so I'm going to start out and I'm going to call my company Grant's Hats. But then Grant's Hats starts growing, and now, damn, I'm doing well. I'm going to sell pants. Grant's Hats pants isn't a great message. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to have the right type of name. Case in point again, fat fashion, fat farm. PHAT stood for pretty hot and tempting. Who knows now? Back then it was great. When he hit mainstream, no one knew. They thought it was a weight loss product.
Yeah.
So that's the N in DNA. And then the A is really just all the aspects around the brand. So packaging, your assets, your brand assets, so DNA. So we start by looking at that. And then once you've kind of gotten the feel, okay, this is what the brand is, you look at what are the opportunities. So I think the stuff that you're doing right, which is most of it in my opinion, is that you have very, very strong message. You have very clean branding. Like I love the 10X brand, for instance. There's no misunderstanding, going back to like the name. There's no misunderstanding what that means. Do you want to 10X your business or not?
Exactly.
Is there any reason why you wouldn't want to 10X your business? Maybe just because you want to 20X. I don't know. 10X is phenomenal, right? It's a great brand. Great brand name. So I love that. I love the acronyms. You know, so the BOBA, you know, was it be obsessed or be average?
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
Yeah.
So all of that stuff is really, really strong. Part of what you might be able to look at and expand your universe, right?
Expand your universe. I like that idea.
Well, it's a brand universe. So to me are there other product verticals that you can open up with that strong of a brand? So I know you have merch, for instance, but could that be taken to a different level? You know, I love my
the cups.
10X coffee mug, but couldn't you build a much stronger universe? You have a group of followers. You have a very aspirational lifestyle. There wouldn't be, it's not unheard of to me that there were people that would want to emulate the Grant Cardone lifestyle.
Yeah, but see, I think, okay, I got to go wider before that's even. I need a bigger audience before coffee cups work or before sweatshirts or hats work.
I'm not so convinced that that's true. It has to be built the right way and with the right integrity, and the message has to be done. And then there's the other thing, and that is expanding, you know, and I don't necessarily know what your core audience is now and where the products are being sold, but typically when I do licensing deals, I always differ between product licenses and territory licenses. So product is getting multiple engines, you know, and what you do is you get best-in-class operators. So now all of a sudden you have this, we talked about the best-in-class shoe guy, the best-in-class hamburger, but it goes for all industries. So you have all this best-in-class with your brand name. Well, that's one way, and you have all these product verticals. But then secondarily is, hey, if you are great in the US, you can't be great in Canada. You can't be great. You know,
well, we're actually, you know, two things that we're combining right now is we just started offering license for Grant Cardone, because that's the only way I know how to scale my business.
Exactly, I love it.
Yeah, and then that also gets me in Singapore, right?
But so exactly right. So you're in essence opening, and what are you doing? So Grant Cardone, replicating the business.
They're allowed to promote my workshops and courses and
100%. That's
and
exactly
deliver
what
that
I'm
where I can't be there, right?
Exactly.
And they can ride on the name and push it as well.
Obviously. And now you become, as opposed to being, you know, a great name and a great property here, you become a global property.
Yeah.
A global brand.
Yeah.
Pretty powerful.
So I need to take you on to get to help me freaking blow this thing up, because I'm dying to make it, man. I'm like, I just that's my motto. I'm like, I'm gonna wake up today. Today's gonna be my break. I'm gonna find my break today, and I meet you. You come in here. What are you working on right now, and how can you help people, Bernt?
So I'm working on multiple things. So as I said, we have founded Celebrity Lifestyle Brands, and Celebrity Lifestyle Brands to me is probably the singular easiest way to help people, because under that umbrella we have a number of different things. So on BerntUllmann.com we have a coaching program. We do actually work both one-on-one and bigger groups.
So Johnny, the camera guy, he wants to be known. He wants to get more jobs. He could come to you and you could help. I gave him his Instagram tag, by the way. Who were you first, Johnny?
I was Johnny_Ringo.
I said, dude, you selling any Ringos? No. You selling any underscores? No. Good. You're Johnny, the camera guy.
Love it.
You know how many jobs I've gotten from that? People are like, dude, this is awesome.
Dude, the guy gives me 10% of all of his jobs because he gets jobs, because I saw right?
But that's the simplest, going back to name, right?
Yeah.
Easy to understand.
Yeah. How many people do you see online missing that? Just in their name they pick?
It's unbelievable.
Crazy, man.
Crazy. And people always overthink it.
Yeah.
To me, you know, the best names are simple and clean, and they say what you do.
Yeah.
So for instance, Celebrity Lifestyle Brands.
Yeah,
immediately. Any doubt about what we do?
No,
I think not.
No.
Right?
No, it's clear to me, okay? I mean, how many people have their birth date in there? You know, Bernt Ullmann, 1961. Like,
the best.
What's that for, man?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, what are you selling 1961? Okay, good. So you guys can reach out to Bernt at Celebrity Lifestyle Brands if you wanna get a coaching session with him. You can email him to schedule it. admin@celebritylifestylebrands.com. I'm gonna get a coaching session with him. I'm gonna tell you right now. You're not coming to my closet, though. Okay.
It might be interesting.
Not really.
Who knows what might happen?
Not really. You know what it is? A bunch of black jeans, a bunch of blue jeans, a bunch of white shirts, white shirts everywhere. But that would tell you a lot about me.
I was just going to say,
Yeah,
of course it does.
exactly.
It serves the same purpose.
Yeah.
So if I was doing that, just stop for a second, and now I came to you and said, okay, I have you pegged. We're going to build this line. I have all these loud Hawaiian shirts. You feel like the guy is a moron. It's not me.
Exactly.
It's not my brand.
Right.
It's no difference.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Okay. Well, I got a lot out of this, Bernt. I really appreciate you coming down. This guy has worked with J. Lopez, Damon John. I don't know if I can use those back to back. Tommy H. I mean, look, the list goes on and on. How much money do you think you've been involved with? Just ad spend. And what do you think the ad spend has been? Forget the production of sales. What do you think the ad spend's been?
So that's interesting because now, you know, in the more recent years, it has dropped down luckily with the, you know, the Instagram and the social media and all of it. But you're talking probably of all those years, probably billions.
Oh, hundreds of billions.
Yeah. So it's
and the product sold. What do you think that is?
So I know just looking at the value of the deals and not looking at the overall.
You look at the deals. It sounds like you look at the deals more than you look at what's sold.
So I do now for me because that's more a measure of, I feel, a personal accomplishment. If I closed an actual deal and then I can look at the value of the deal. And just the value of the deals when we did the last tally, that's north of $6 billion.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. I appreciate you coming in and sharing your time.
Thank you so much.
Hey, look, get yourself in a position where you can sit in that chair, okay, and spew this kind of wisdom. This guy came in on his own time, his own dime, to share with you how he got in power. Do it for yourself and do it for your neighborhood and be a good example. Bernt is an inspiration and an aspiration. Can I use both those words in one sentence?
I'm grateful.
And he's credible. And what's the other? And he's authentic. See, he meets all three of the criteria of great branding. Thanks for watching Power Players.
Wealth Dynamics believes everyone has the God-given right to own their potential. Most of us don't because we spend 40 hours per week serving the 40-year-to-life sentence, trading our precious time for worthless paper called money. We live on an economic planet and time and money do need to be exchanged, but it doesn't need to be your time or your money. We teach our clients to secure income-producing assets that make the time and money exchange for you so you can buy your freedom back and live a life of abundance and prosperity. To get there, we must know how to make money, how to keep it, and how to multiply it. Wealth Dynamics provides coaching, education, accountability, and community to help you build wealth. Join our coaching program, get educated on Wealth Dynamics University, and begin networking with the Wealth Dynamics Mastermind Group today. To get started, go to wealthdynamics.com. Growing your future, protecting your past. J.D. Frost & Company, PLLC, is a public accounting firm. Offers a variety of assurance and tax services to businesses and individuals in the Chattanooga and surrounding areas. We focus on construction and manufacturing industries. Our primary objective is client satisfaction through excellent customer service. Work with the best. We are accredited by the BBB. This is J.D. Frost & Company for a full suite of tax assurance and management accounting services. Visit us right now at frostcpas.com. When your advert has captured your prospect's attention, the last thing you want is to lose the momentum of the sale. Maybe they fill out your web form. More likely, they'll leave, looking for online reviews or prices. Just like that, the moment has passed and you've lost your chance. That's why our trademark click-to-call ads let prospects call you right from within the ad. It takes just one click. Your ad can be placed across the entire web on any relevant website or any site your prospect goes once they leave your site. From Bloomberg.com to eBay, from MSN to Yahoo News, your ad can run anywhere. Instead of a normal banner ad, we display a video. Once you grab attention, a call button lets prospects phone straight through to your dealership. Don't leave your prospects hunting for a pen or trying to write down your dealership's phone number or switching apps while your ad plays. Make it easy for your customer to phone you. Let them simply click the call button and be instantly connected to your sales team. Go to rtb.cat and sign up for our banner upgrade request right now. Producers and creators are the sources of all value on the planet. MC Lobster, the host of the top-rated business and investing podcast Cashflow Ninja, is on a mission with Producers Wealth to help producers create, protect, and multiply their wealth outside of Wall Street in any economy by creating systems and processes that help them increase their production, provides them with liquidity, passive income generators, and opportunities for enormous growth. Learn more about their time-tested and proven systems at yourownbankingsystem.com. That's yourownbankingsystem.com.